The position that America's in, our position in the world, the growing gap between the rich and the poor, all these things create tension, and people want an answer. And unfortunately, it's very hard to have an answer when government is completely divided. People in Washington can't govern because they're divided between Republicans and Democrats, conservatives and liberals, religious fundamentalists, libertarians, and all the rest. So we have a crisis of governance in the face of an increasingly difficult and dangerous world, and people are upset. And I have to tell you, the campaigns and the candidacies are not all that inspiring. But it's very difficult to be inspiring in the midst of this kind of challenge and complexity. So I sympathize with the candidates, and I would just say they're going to have to do better to win the support of the American people.
Now, some are saying that California's primary could be the Republicans' last stand, the establishment's last stand in preventing Donald Trump from winning the nomination. Is that nomination inevitable?
No, it's not inevitable. Mr. Trump doesn't have a majority. Like everything else, things happen in unpredictable ways. He's doing remarkably well, but he doesn't have a majority. So there's a lot to be. Stay tuned. There's much more to happen. And I certainly wouldn't want to predict what's going to happen in California. It's very open. I'd say anybody can win this thing.
Does it scare you, though, that he's that close to the nomination and thus to the presidency?
Well, I don't like to say I'm scared by these candidates. There's a lot of things I'm more concerned about. I'm concerned about the big issues facing America and the inability of the Republican and Democratic leadership to get together, whether it's on a Supreme Court nominee, whether it's to finance our roads and bridges, whether it's to increase our research and development, or if it's to deal with the negative consequences of globalization in the form of inequality. I'd like that to happen. The president, with all the hoopla, is going to disappoint people, because if we have a dysfunctional Congress, ultimately people are going to get mad at the president. So I think we're all in this together, and I certainly would like to do my part to make a more positive political environment.
Who are you supporting?
I'm not supporting anybody at this point.
Would you accept a VP nomination?
I haven't been offered one. I don't accept what I haven't been offered.
Would you be interested?
Not particularly.
Why not?
No, well, because I ran for president, not vice president.
How do you see the race playing out then?
I don't predict. I'm not a prophet here. I'd say.
Do you see a demise of the two-party
I'd say
system?
Hillary's very strong, and I'd say the Republican Party hasn't quite gelled yet, but it's getting close.
To gelling around Trump, or just?
Well, it's getting close to gelling. So, you know, events happen in politics. Scandals occur, untoward events, comments made, and you never. I mean, it does look like it's shaping up. It looks like it's coming together, but I'd wait a bit longer before we kind of lock things down and say, now we know who the nominees are. I'd give us a few more months.
Is Donald Trump fit to be president?
I would say the idea that he's going to build a wall and make Mexico pay for it is absolutely preposterous and would create such tension with our closest neighbor that probably a dumber idea I can't imagine. Or maybe a more dangerous. It's dumber than it is dangerous.